Okay, so here we are with the Dragon Ball Goku and I forget the dragon's name. The dragon with the Dragon Balls, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Goku's on his way to get the seventh. Toriyama, the late great Akira Toriyama. So let's begin this. I'm gonna drop down the opacity, not too much, but because I want you guys to see exactly where I am with each step. So I'm gonna leave it like that, and should be giving me a nice line there. So I'm gonna start with this Coco, okay? Since I'm gonna show you what I'm doing, I'm just gonna show you right there. I'm gonna start it with the letter U, okay? So it's gonna look like the letter U. However, it's going, let me make sure that I get the right thing. Yeah. It's going to look more like a squared off letter U. So I give it more of these angles, right? So I give it more of these angles instead of what would look like, let me just bring that up, a letter U. So you can see the difference, right? No pun intended. So there's the difference in the line itself from a curvy to a rectangular. On the left and the right, if you go ahead and you put the letter C on the left, make that a little bit less, and I think I had a little bit more. Okay, so letter C on the left, letter C on the right, and if you put the number 5 and a number 5 backwards, you'll have his ears. And I want to go ahead and finish the face. So from the top, you want to go diagonal number 1, diagonal number 1, okay? And before I finish that, I'm just going to put a diagonal number 1 there. It's kind of like a triangle. And I'm going to close that gap with a happy face or the letter C. For the right side, instead of going with a straight, I just make it like a little letter L almost. And then I close it the same way I did here on the right with a little happy face. And to finish the eyes, you want to put little happy face here and there. And his eyebrows, again, almost like a triangle, like that. And you could just close it off. And then his nose is the letter L. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so you can see that better. A little letter L like that. And I'm going to put a sad face. And I'm going to use the letter L again for the top row of the teeth. If you go happy face 1, happy face 2, and just close it off with like almost like a square, close it off there, and you'll have the mouth. And what I've done is I've added some detail on my drawing underneath. So, and I'm going to just drop it down just a little hair more. There we go. So what I've done is I've added just little details. If you want to, you don't have to, but I just, a couple little diagonal number 1s there, a couple little diagonal number 1s there, maybe a couple there. That's nothing. Makes your drawing look a little bit, the little jawline there, makes it look a little bit more detailed, a little better. I added a little bit of the gums on the drawing underneath, and then a little bit of a little drop shadow right here, maybe a little drop shadow right there. Now, instead of continuing with the hair, I just want to continue like right here with a part of his gi. So I'll put the letter V and the letter V one more time. And again, if you want to add a little drop shadow right there from the chin, it'll make your drawing look a little bit better. If you take from right here where the bottom of the letter C is for the ear, and you draw a happy face, dun, 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 and stop it right about where this jawline is. So I would go dun, 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 right there to the jawline, right there. And I add a number 1. Now this number 1, I'm going to drop right here where this letter V is lining up. Boom. Everything lines up, right? If I'm going a little too fast, there's a setting on the YouTube videos that'll help you, it'll make the drawings go slower. I don't know. It's the little icon, the little gear icon that looks like this, right? A little gear icon, kind of like right about here. And then I think if you go up, it'll go slower. If you go down, it'll go slower. One of those will help the video to go slower. Just put it on mute and instead of hearing me move like, it'll do it correctly. So now we can go ahead and let's do the hair. Now that we got the body kind of in place there, I'm just gonna put the letter W right here in this gap, the letter W, and I'm gonna add the letter V. And I could go ahead and drop a letter L right there because I can see a little bit of a sideburn. And I'm gonna add the letter M right there. Let me fix that last part. So I wanna make it look nice and curvy. M. And then coming off the top of his head, it's a bigger letter M. As you know, Goku has all that wavy, nice hair. And if you, for now, right, because later we're going to put the Toriyama sign in there, but not right now. We're not going to worry about that right now. You could just add a little triangle part going like that to close that off. Now, his shoulder, I want to start, so you have the ear right here. If you scooch up a little bit and put a happy face, right? And then you're going to drop a sad face. And I would stop my sad face somewhere where the chin is. And I'm going to repeat that step. I'm going to give a little sad face. Notice that I didn't start here at the corner. I moved it in a little bit and dropped a happy face there. And then I did a parallel line to this one. I could go ahead and close this. That's the inside of the sleeve. And then to do the arm, right? So we're right about here now. I'm going to do like a backwards letter L. So I'll just do my happy face. And I'm making like a backwards letter L. And if I go right here where this number 1 was for the waist, I just put a number 1 here. I go sad face. And I'll close this little gap here with a happy face. I can finish this little bit of that sleeve here. And I can add a little drop shadow so you can see that that's the inside of the sleeves, right? And I'll put the little gauntlet here, little wristband. I'll add sad face, sad face. You can add muscle as you see here. It's just like a little sad face up here. Number 1, happy face, sad face. Number 1, happy face. And all I've done, if you look here, is just little details, like little happy faces there, here, a couple going right here, right there. You don't have to do that, but it adds a little more detail to your drawing. Okay, now I want to focus on the hands. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the hands. I'm going to start with the thumb, and you see the thumb is just the letter L. And I'll do the letter L. Again, you're going to hear the letter L a lot. If you put happy face there, you have his thumb. If you put happy face here, it's like the palm of the hand. He's doing like this motion, right? He's doing that, right? So you saw me just draw that. So at the end of that, I'll put the letter L or a 7. I'll draw the letter L. And if I put the letter L one more time, there's his pointer finger. Again, it's doing this motion. Okay, it's doing that motion. I'm going to repeat these steps a little bit longer. So I have his middle finger there. And then with one more letter L right here, it closes that gap. Now for the other hand, I don't have to do as much. I'm going to come right out of the thumb, 7, rectangle, and I'll draw the nail using a number 1 and a sad face. I'm going to draw my letter L, and I'm going to put just another number 1 there, maybe a number 1 here. And I'm going to repeat that step one more time, just a letter L. I don't have to draw anymore. This hand is overlapping that one. If you want to make it look a little more detailed, put another letter L right there, maybe one more right there so you have those nails. A number 1 here and there, and a sad face, and then you have both hands, okay? Here you could put happy face, sad face. That's a little circle part of the logo. For me, I put my initial in there, okay? You could put yours. And I'll put just a few diagonal lines going in that direction there. I'll add a few coming up this way. Again, I'm just all about a little bit of the deets. A little bit of the deets. Oh, he's got 2 more sleeves here. That's just sad face and letter L right there, and a couple little more deets right there. I'm almost done with this Goku. So coming off his legs, right, I'll just put a sad face there. And then on this side here, I'll do the same thing. And then in the middle, kind of like a triangle, but I'll curve it out a little bit more. And I'll add, with sad face, the wrinkles of his pants. And then, of course, he's got this belt that comes across and goes waving right about here. That's going to be sad face. 1, 2. And I'll draw just like, same thing here. Sad face 1 and 2. I'll close the gap with the same thing. Sad face 1, sad face 2. And to make the folds, to make it look a little bit better, if I put the letter L there and the letter L there and just do a little drop shadow, it looks a little bit better. And I'll just add a couple little diagonal lines here and here. And there I have my Goku. However, now we got the dragon in the background. And the dragon in the background is going to start just like Goku with his Coco. And I start that Coco with the letter L. Sorry, let me make that just a little bit better. And then I drop another letter L. Now what I want to do is I want to close this gap, just like touching Goku's face there, or his hair rather. Then his sad face, and I could go right through Goku's hair, where later I can come in here and erase what I just did. And then I could go happy face, but I only have to draw happy face there. But if you want to, you could pick it up there, happy face here, and the letter L will give you the rest of his jawline. I'll add a little happy face there. I don't have to anywhere else. And I'm going to drop triangles for his teeth. And since I'm working with triangle, let's go ahead and draw his eyes, right? So his eyes will start right about here where this letter L is. Right there, you put diagonal, diagonal, triangle, triangle. And I like to add just a little diagonal here. Maybe you want to add a little bit more like that. It's fine. He's got horns, and those horns, they look like the letter W, okay? Or an arrow pointing down, or letter Y with a rectangle in the middle, but it looks block lettery. So I'll go thinking of my letter Y, like a block letter, and I'll put a rectangle down the middle. My letter Y, like a block letter, and I put my rectangle down the middle. I'll just continue that little line right there because I'm a detail kind of guy. Now, his body is going to start here going like sad face all the way around downtown Julie Brown till I reach right about Goku's shoulder. Now, I know I have a Dragon Ball right here. I'm just going to overlap everything for now. I got a Dragon Ball there. I got a Dragon Ball here. I got a Dragon Ball here. I got one right here. One here. And notice where they are, right? So I got one like kind of where the hair and the shoulder meet. One here where the shoulder of Goku, right? Then I got one back here in between Goku's belt where, because I have that in the way, right? For me, I'm just going to add the sides so I don't have to erase. You might want to do that, draw it in there and erase. And that should be all of them. So I have 6, right? Now, when it comes to drawing circles, ideally what you want to have is this kind of a tool. This is like they're like these stencils, right? With different shapes of circles. If you really want to take your circle game to the next level, I recommend you get one of these. So I could take this, see? And I could just size it up. Boom. Trace it in here. And I'll show you an example, right? Let me show you an example. So let's say I want to put a circle here, and I'm not using a, boom, got a perfect circle, okay? So yeah, you want to get one of these guys. They're, I don't know, I've had these for years, so I couldn't tell you, but you know, you look for them on Amazon, circle stencils, and you'll find a few of them, right? All right, so let's go ahead and draw the claws. And the claws are the same exact steps. So I'm going to start over here on the far left. I'm just going to put sad face 1, sad face 2, and repeat this pattern until I have 4. Sad face 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. And ideally, whatever I have inside the claw, I want to erase. I'll leave that one there because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do sad faces to show the claw. See? So let's do that again over up here. So it's going to go, and again, I got Goku's hair in the way, so I don't need to draw the whole thing. For me, maybe you do. Sad face, sad face, sad face, sad face, sad face, sad face. For this one, I don't have to draw a fourth because, again, Goku's hair is going to be in the way. But for you, if you have to on yours, because you have space, you know what you got to do. You drop that fourth. Sad face, sad face, sad face. Now, because this one shows the arm, I'm going to extend that arm. I'll just draw like a little number 1 here. Sad face, happy face, maybe a little happy face there. And I have that arm. They're just sad faces and happy faces. All right, another one here. Sad face 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And this one is showing, so I'll have to draw that fourth for the thumb. And again, like I said before, I'm just repeating these patterns. I'll draw the horn, part of the claw. And before I drop the arm in there, I want to draw this last claw using my sad faces. And for this guy here, I will draw the thumb also connected there. We go ahead and erase this portion. Erase this portion. I'll leave that one there. And I'll just add my sad faces. And then I'll connect an arm piece there. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to add this little parallel line here. One more there. So that I have the underbody of the dragon right here in that piece. I don't think it shows up anymore. Now, I got that one sphere right there, and I'm just going to put a sad face going like this. And again, you could erase what you did there, right? But since I'm overlapping, I'm going to do it in pieces. And I'm going to add one more here of a happy face. Because I want it coiled around. I want the dragon's body coiled around that. And I want it to come up this way. And this one looks a little bit more like a question mark. But the final piece is going to wrap around this piece here. Got to be curvy. And then I'm going to add the horns. And again, because I want it to be a little bit like right on top, I'm just going to erase what I got inside. Right? So I kind of, and I'll put the star here one time. So that's the first Dragon Ball. I can put in my scales. That's just the letter C. All right. So I have that finished. I'm going to go ahead and add the little stars onto this one. I mean, ideally, you want to make sure that you have numbered the stars. But, I mean, that's if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty. I'm not done yet. I mean, I just want to add these things. We still got to finish the dragon's Coco. Little scales. Horns. Or rather, the spikes on his back. And yeah, add these guys. I want to finish this guy's body here. Add those spikes. Add my stars. And I kind of make the spikes kind of disappear. And then I'll have the spikes reappear. That's just to show a little bit of depth, right? Like it's the body of the dragon is twisting, coming out of frame, and then coming back into the frame. Since I can't really show movement, it's not an animation. All right, so here's where we get into the nitty-gritty. Got to finish this dragon, right? So he does have a beard, comes off the side, just using that letter W. I don't even have to draw the whole thing on this side here. Just little pieces of it. Scales coming up this way. His nostrils. And then the bit of that mustache that comes on the outside of his nostrils. And then the last thing we want to do is you want to add your title, Toriyama. So people that are not familiar, you can even make that a Dragon Ball if you want to. They are not familiar with the actual creator of Dragon Ball. Well, they're going to see this name and they're going to be like, well, who's that? And you are going to school them on who Toriyama is. Hands down. Listen, if you made me a fan, kind of. I only read the first book so far. But if you made me into a fan, and I want to give Goku his, I don't know what it's called, whatever power it is that he is able to call up to ring out. If you can make me into a possible fan, and I am not a manga fan, then the guy deserves his props, yo. So that is a Goku with the dragon and the Dragon Balls and the creator of the whole shebang, Toriyama, presented to you by the one, the only, the number one in Japan, Mr. Rossi. There's another version of this. If you want to do that one, I call this the A Day one. There's a B Day one, an A one, and a B one. Check out the B one located here on the one and only, the only Mr. Rossi Classroom on YouTube, in your world. Tell your friends. Tell everyone that's not in Japan to check out this guy's channel, right, chill.